So, we're getting close, everybody. Shake it loose. How we doing? Everybody want to stand up? Michelle, are you tired? You want to run? Okay. Bottom aeration. This is pictures of Devil's Lake. So, algae. Some folks around look and say, bottom aeration. There's other ways, and it's like, well, okay. I don't know anything about it. They also said that they had enzymes and all kinds of stuff. So my board, we had a couple speakers, and we started researching it, and we thought we're going to go for it. We're going to see what happens. And work with the potato bottom. We're going to put a bottom aeration project. I'm going to show you here in a second at Coleman Arm. We're going to see if it works. I do want to say we did make the attempt to go up to Devil's Lake on Friday the 13th to do our due diligence and sneak in there and see if it was working. Al, Lon, and I, and the horrible thing is the double fatality stopped us 7 miles away. And it was just, so we never got there. We'll still make up. But these are pictures of Devil's Lake. Next. So some of you out there that are probably not trained in politics and prostitution and fishery science, yes, I did say prostitution. That's what I do for this community, and you guys know that. So, somebody knows what a compressor and all that stuff is, and so if you look on the left side, think of a big compressor. And it's going to push air through all these hoses over to 40 sunken heads that are going to bubble the bottom and aerate the bottom. Next. That's the compressor. We have bids. We've received one bid. We are waiting on another bid. The bid that we're waiting on actually has 2 compressors. We're expecting a budget, electrical and everything set up. It's going to be $350,000 to $400,000 to implement this project. Next. That is what they call a diffuser head. You can see how flat it's. I kind of widened out the picture, so it's kind of 13 by 3 inches. That's what's going to go on the bottom of the lake, hooked up to sinking air lines, and it's going to blow a bunch of air through the water. Next. That is Coleman Arm. So that's the number of diffusers that we're going to put in that lake. 90 acres of Coleman Arm. I just saw Jilly being carrying a garbage can. And then you can see where the red dot is. I don't know if that's accurate, but the compressor is going to be down off Potato Bottom Road. And yes, sir.
How much is the sedimentation going to affect the diffuser?
Meaning during the winter?
Yes.
Okay, good question. How much is the sediment coming down in the Coleman Arm is going to impact the diffuser heads? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that. I don't have an answer to that. I think it may be so powerful that it blows it around. I'm not sure. I'm learning as we go. I did tell them that there's a lot of dirt coming down the lake. I made sure they knew that. You can see some of the big treatment area and the turnover rate. What we have is an anoxic bottom, no oxygen under 13 to 14 feet. Only certain organisms can utilize that area. Guess what? Cyanobacteria, toxic green algae, and aquatic nuisance weeds can utilize that. Cyanobacteria will actually go down. They make diurnal movements, and they will go down there and feed in that. And so we need to bust that layer up. That's our whole point. We need to put a lot of oxygen, 0 oxygen in that area. Meaning, okay, if you're trout fishing in 15 feet of water in Coleman Arm, you're not going to catch anything. There's nothing down there. So in a year or 2, maybe they're sunken, so navigation, 0 issues in navigation. So we're learning. I wish we would have got up to Devil's Lake. Any questions? Yep.
You mentioned the fact that the $350,000 is for putting it all in, but there's a yearly cost that's not covered by grants?
Yes. Yeah. for the cost of this project, $350,000 to $400,000. And we're gonna either get a grant for that, that's what I do, I'm a grant writer, that's the prostitution part. But also I want to personally thank Senator Merkley. We have a pork barrel request for $400,000 moving along. That hopefully would save me from writing a grant. In addition to that, setup cost, and that's actually set up and maintenance for 3 years. This project will run for 3 years. There will be a $6,000 a year power cost to this project. I don't know where that money is coming from yet. Grants will not pay for maintenance. But I'll find it. I'll get it out of Ringo. The next slide. Any questions on this? It's kind of exciting. This is how it kind of looks. Think of Coleman Arm and you see those kind of bubbles, those big bumps going there. It's going to move the water. Now we'll find out if it works. I really want to be, I'm concerned that it just moves the algae. This will not be a success if it just pushes the algae to the shoreline. I'm concerned about that. I want it to disappear and open that, break up the anoxic barrier and allow other organisms to use those nutrients. Go ahead. So one of the parts that we're committed to with both contractors or whoever wins the bid. Yes?
Sorry, I just would like to know exactly what a successful thing would look like. What is like the minimum target?
Our algae blooms have been dramatically reduced and our dissolved oxygen levels are up to 95% saturation.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
I'm assuming this is modeled off of something that's happened somewhere else or it's been that successful.
They're doing it all over the Midwest. You can just Google it and you'll see a lot of them. The closest one, we found, all of a sudden we found out one's in Devil's Lake. Now some of they try to sell us some enzymes that are supposed to increase the digestion when they put them in there. They were $130,000. And they didn't want to tell us about what they were. And I can't write a grant without knowing what they are. And then I'm kind of a biologist, and I'm thinking if we break the anoxic layer, the enzymes are going to go anyway. So we actually cut those. But a lot of places are using those enzymes, and they're saying that it increases the treatment. We're not going to do that here. On Devil's Lake, they actually have plastic bathtubs, like your kids or the dogs play in, on the shoreline, and they're growing enzymes and dumping them in. Maybe 2 or 3 years, we look at that this didn't work or something. Both contractors recommended that to put the enzymes, but I work with some scientists too, and we're going to $130,000 is just too crazy. And they didn't want to tell us what it was. Yes.
I think it's, for people that don't know, Alan, being president of the TLA, let us know about the future cost of this project a couple years ago when we first started talking about it, a year and a half ago. And originally, talking with you and Alan, the cost was over $1 million. And to let everyone know that that doesn't deter you, you keep fighting at it, and I appreciate that. You know, a lot of people would go, $1 million, okay, forget it, we can't help the lake. And you guys keep fighting it, now it's down to $350,000, and it looks like a grant could cover $350,000, or maybe the pork barrel thing, but just kudos to you and Alan and anyone else involved that you guys don't give up when you hear $1 million price tag and keep pushing forward. And now we've got a manager, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, I would have got them all. If I was going to give up. Yeah, I remember the photo with a blue heron yanking on it. It was not going to swallow me. Yes, sir.
How would this aeration affect the temperature of water?
You know, I'm not sure. I'm going to assume that it would maybe cool down and mix it a little bit. You know, your surface temperature is running 70 right now, and then down another meter or so, you're cooler. So I think it may moderate it a little bit. It may decrease the surface and increase the bottom, I think. But I'm not quite sure. That's a very good question. I'm not going to, I'm memorizing your question so I can ask.
Well, it might make it warmer.
I would think that if you're taking the surface and the bottom, you're going to mix it up and come up with maybe 65 all the way through the column. I'm not sure. But I'll remember that and I'll find that answer.
I was wondering how that would affect the algae.
Warmer water, it's just like a garden. Think of a plant. I mean, you get in the right spot in the right conditions and algae will bloom. And if I can backtrack a little bit, and everybody remember before July 4th, and when South Lake was green. South Lake was green. I was going, oh my gosh, now before July 4th weekend, he's gonna kill me. Rico's gonna kill me. And all of a sudden it went away, right? I have no idea. It's not because of the freshwater bryozoans. Unless you need a hero that looks like a brain, but I don't know. I mean, you asked me why, I don't know, and I don't know why North Lake is in better shape than South Lake. I have no idea. But I drove around today and the lakes look great. I mean, they're kind of brown. The brown's kind of a diatom bloom. It's healthy. Anyway, just enjoy it and don't ask why. I really don't know. Part of a commit would be is if we have a forklift and contractors, and our commit would be as in kind to move all get a barge and load all their sinking lines and their compressors and drive it to Coleman and help them set up. So that would be partly our kind. Remember, when you write a grant, you got to have 25% match or even more in some kind of way or other, and this would be one of our matches. That's what they did in Devils Lake. Next.